So you might see my dogs. This one's kind of being a little obnoxious. What's wrong? What? What? We done? We're not playing. I got some business to do. I got some business. There's some lipstick on her. Time to focus. To focus. Beep bop boop bop. Beep boop bop. Welcome everybody to Artsy Fartsy Magic. Okay, we are going to be talking about. I feel like all of my stories right now have just been my party days, but there's so many of them. So let's talk about spring break. Spring break. 2K15. 2015 was just a year for me, dude. It was a year for me, dog. So yeah, let's do that. We're talking about spring break. Let's get into it. We're gonna do some painting. Today we're gonna do a refresh of an old painting. So I'm wondering which one I should do. I should do a smaller one. Yeah. 2018. This is when I did this one. Yeah, I hate it. I'm gonna do something with it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what we do. All right. Let's go. Story time. Okay, I'm just gonna apologize right now. You're gonna see bits of the painting being cut off in some of the video. That was me bads. Moving on with that. So, we are going back. It is March. Wowzers! It is sunny outside. Girls are wearing bikinis. Guys are wearing their, I don't know, there wasn't many Speedos, but they were wearing their trunks. There were foam parties. There was a Luke Bryan concert for free on the beach. Orange Beach and Panama. I'm with my friends. First of all, I'm with Amy. What up, girl? She my BFF. We got my sister Sally. Then there's Monica and Rebecca. Monica is one of my other BFFs. Rebecca, I don't really talk to her anymore, to be honest. We just kind of, I don't know, our relationship kind of faded away. Sometimes you don't stay friends, and that's life. So, but anyways, we all were like, all right, let's go to Panama for this Luke Bryan concert, right? They got these bars on the beach. You can go to all these bars if you're at least 18. My friend and I veer off. Amy and I always veer off in like parties. Her and I always we left the other girls and just went on our own somewhere, and we decided that we were gonna get into this bar, right? Let's get into this bar so we can go to the bath. We wanted to go to the bathroom, but I'm thinking, oh, we're at a bar, so I can grab a drink while I'm here. But I have my fake ID that says I'm 5'8" with green eyes, and I'm 26 years old. So I try to get in with this fake ID, right? And the bar hoppers are looking at it, and they're looking at me, and they're like, this is bullshit. They're like, ma'am, obviously this ain't you. And I was like, I'm just trying to use the restroom. Sir, that's my real ID. What are you talking about? This is me. That's who I am. If you don't like it, then get out. And he was like, nah, this is not you. You need to show us your real ID. And if you don't, we'll call the cops. And I was like, call the cops then. I don't care. So that's my real ID. And then they're like, you want us to call the cop? We'll call the cops. You want us to call the cop? And I was like, yeah, call the cop. Call the cop. Went back and forth. And then eventually I was like, okay, don't call the cops. Here's my real ID. And they stamped me, said I was under 21. I went in there, I used the restroom, and I walked right back out, and they took my fake ID. I could get into other bars as long as you're old enough. There's that little story from spring break. There's about 3 others. The second story, and this was in Panama City, by the way. We're still in Panama, just after the Luke Bryan concert when that happened. Now, it's later on in the day. It's like nighttime by the ocean. We're at this foam party. I don't know if you've ever been to a foam party, but it's basically just a bunch of people rubbing on each other while there's soap falling on them, and it's disgusting. I would not recommend. We went up to my friend and I, Amy, what's up, girl? Her and I veered off again because we were wanting to smoke some weed, right? We go up to the side. Some guy has a box of cigarettes and he's like, hey, y'all, want to smoke? Pulls it out. He has like little wrapped up joints in there. We're like, hell yeah. By the way, I never accept anything from strangers anymore. I've learned my lesson plenty of times not to take things from strangers. So we take the damn joint, right? Having a good old time. And then we go back to the foam party. My friends are just like trying to grab onto each other because there's so many people just body on top of body on top of body. Like if you fall, you will die basically at that point because there's so many people there. And then this guy came up to me and literally grabbed me right around the vagina. I turned around and I elbowed him in the face and I said, what the effer bottoms are you doing, sir? He looks at me like scared because someone confronted him for doing this. There's so many people there. And he just looked like white on his face. And then he walked away. So there's that little story, okay? That's the second story. The third story is like the big bananas. Big banana story. Bananas. This one probably tops the cake, to be honest, just because, well, you'll find out. We're going back to my friends' names, right? Rebecca and I don't talk anymore. She liked men. Loved searching for a hot man out there in the crowd. She'd have like this look on her face like, I'm gonna get what I want. And she always like would shake her booty really well. Like she was good at it. That's how she would walk. She'd be like, I'm Rebecca. She never asked us, you know, was it okay to bring back men every night to the hotel room? Like, is it cool if we bring back these men to the hot tub? It started to annoy like Amy and I because we were both in relationships. It didn't matter. She just never asked if it was okay to bring them back. She just brought them back. And you know how guys are. They're like, oh, it's spring break? Well, where's your partner at? Oh, well, they're not here, so whatever. It's spring break. But for me, I just wanted to go spring break to enjoy it and to party with my friends. Also, like, Amy did that as well. We're both, like, in the same boat. Rebecca was like, hey, the last night we were there, she asked if she could bring a group of, like, 3 guys over. And we're like, okay, just because you asked, yes, Rebecca, you can bring these men back to the hot tub. So they get to the hot tub area. Amy and I are still back in the hotel room, like we're changing at this point. They come back up after the hot tub. I'm gonna mention real quick that these men are like beefy dudes. They obviously eat red meat every day and chug hella protein shakes. You know what I'm saying? These boys are beefy. Obviously, Rebecca was all over one of them. And then my sister, at the time, she was like really innocent. Definitely not now, but she was really innocent back in the day. She was not cool with this other dude that was there trying to cuddle on her and stuff. And then there was a third dude. Third dude had me pissed off. He was like blocking me and Monica in the bathroom. He was standing in the doorway. Monica and I were in the bathroom. He wouldn't let us get out of the bathroom. Like, he wouldn't let us leave. I also forgot to mention that the hot tub, their excuse of why they came up to the room was because the hot tub wasn't working that night, so they decided to chill in the hotel room. That's why they're up there. But at the same time, like, they were being extremely rapey. All of them were. The guy that was with my sister started going after Amy. And at one point, we kept telling them to leave. We were like, you guys have to leave. It's time to leave. It's 3 a.m. You guys got here, like, at midnight. Like, you guys need to leave. Like, we've been telling them ever since they got there that they needed to leave. And they didn't leave. And they just kept getting closer and closer to us. When I'm saying, like, I was actually legitimately scared. I was legitimately scared to the point where my best friend Amy, seriously, she has saved us in so many situations before. Amy flips her shit. Amy grabs a beer bottle. I'm not for sure if this actually happened or not, or if it's just in my mind. Correct me if I'm wrong, friends, but I'm fairly certain Amy smashed a beer bottle. Like, she smashed it on a cabinet and she just yelled, brought it up to her head, started waving it around at the guys and was like, get the fuck out. She started acting so psycho. And then the guy that was blocking me and Monica in the bathroom. He's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why are you being so psychotic? And she just kept going on. She was like, you better get the fuck out. If you don't get the fuck out now, I swear to God, I'm gonna call the cops. So then we were like, okay, Amy's got this, guys. Amy has this under control. They left. We were all just kind of like, oh my God, Rebecca, why did you invite these men over? At first, being young and stuff, I blamed Rebecca, but I never know exactly what people are thinking or what they're gonna do. So obviously that was just being naive to not let strangers into your hotel room at all. Just saying. We picked up our shit and we left to go back to Illinois. You know, it was a fun trip. I don't regret anything about it. That was the one and only spring break I ever went on, and that was enough for me. It was enjoyable because I was with my friends and we were having a good time. That's the end of that story. I'm sorry, I think it's a pretty quick story, but not all stories are long. This is the finished project. I tried my best with this one. I don't know why it just wasn't speaking with me that much. I don't know, do you ever have a painting or you're ever working on something and you're like, I mean, it looks good, but it's not my favorite kind of thing? That's where I'm at there. It is gonna be up for sale if you guys want it. I think I'm gonna just sell it at a cheaper price. Like, just give me an offer and I'll give it to you if you want, because it's just not my favorite. I would normally do a somersault, but your girl hurt her back in California and all those obese patients, so no somersault for you. Okay, so anyways, I hope you liked what you saw. I hope you buy my stuff, please. Nursing is hard, guys. Stay tuned for next week. The stories are still from parties, but you know what? They're interesting. Thank you. Have a blessed day. Don't forget to subscribe. Possibly. Only if you consent. But push that button. It would help me, you, everybody. Let's go.